The Detroit News' John Niyo and Angelique S. Chengelis break down the Wolverines' 26-19 loss to South Carolina. Angelique S. Chengelis. Michigan quarterback Brandon Peters lies on the turf after a second-half interception. Peters was charged with 3 turnovers. Photos by David Gerlnick / Detroit News. Tampa, Flo. New Year, same unresolved issues. And for Michigan football, this wasn't just the epitaph for 2017, as a colossal second-half collapse against South Carolina in the Outback Bowl handed the Wolverines a 3rd consecutive loss to end the season. It's also their identity until they prove otherwise. All of it is, from the offensive ineptitude to the head-smacking quarterback play to the late-game stumbles in every facet of the game. Jim Harbaugh's team didn't just come home empty-handed, spoiling the Big Ten's perfect bowl record with a 26-19 loss to an unranked SEC opponent on New Year's Day. The Wolverines came unraveled again at crunch time, blowing a 16-point lead over the final 1 quarters with a mess of turnovers and questionable coaching decisions that will only add to the off-season questions surrounding this program. It goes beyond the desperate search for a quarterback for Michigan right now, though Brandon Peters' play in what was billed as a de facto interview for next season's No. 1 job certainly left the door wide open for Mississippi transfer Shea Patterson, provided the latter can get NCAA clearance to play in 2018. More, Peters' shot at breakout game for Michigan turns to bust. But it wasn't merely Peters' performance, the missed throws early that fell incomplete and the ill-advised ones late that were intercepted that cost the Wolverines this game. It has to fall back on the coaches, because the disjointed offensive display Monday wasn't an anomaly. It was the same thing we saw for much of the season: simple missed assignments in pass protection, a run game that struggled to find any consistency, and the kind of play-calling confusion that's simply inexcusable in the 13th game of a season. Getting punchy, the momentum had already started to turn when Michigan lined up for a 3rd and 1 play at its own 23-yard line near the end of the 3rd quarter. Karen Higdon's first and goal fumble earlier in the quarter, with the Wolverines poised to take a 23-3 lead, had given the Gamecocks a reprieve. "We didn't get the knockout punch when we needed it," Harbaugh said. More, "Whoa blue, Michigan falls apart, loses to South Carolina." But then they proceeded to punch themselves in the face. Peters said he knew something was wrong when that short yardage 3rd down play began, with Keikoa Crawford coming in motion and a split backfield with Higdon and tight end Sean McKeon behind him. McKeon wasn't supposed to be there. "But I thought he'd know what to do," Peters said. "When I snapped the ball, he seemed a little surprised that I was handing the ball off. I should have seen that and made sure that he knew what he was doing. Or maybe, as Harbaugh openly admitted later, that was our fault. That was a coaching error."